All right, and good morning, everyone who is here. Probably more showing up soon, I would say. Let me go. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Hi. Uh, Moving a little slower. Just haven't had my morning coffee yet, but someone in chat, let me know if you can see me. I don't even know if there's even anyone here. Picked a weird time to do it. Oh, there's Elliot. Morning. Um, so, the game plan. And to summarize, let's just move that. That's fine there. So, we built this strategy on Monday. And the theory was to create a more discretionary, the way that I trade, which is part algorithmic and quantitative and part discretionary. To create something that I thought could work like that is just a nice opening scalp style algo, right? Something to play around with. And I spent, apologize if the dog's about to be an arse. No, he's fine. So I've been playing with this Tuesday, Wednesday, and yesterday. Initially said I was going to do it in paper trading mode, which is certainly what I would recommend. But because I am testing E-Trade for trade ideas with Dan's money, I'm going to use that to continue to test this strategy, but we're doing it very, 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 very small. So I wrote this up last night on Notepad, and actually I forgot. I have to transfer this over to Notion before I forget. But let me just go through this with you as the day starts to open. Move this. Wow, the spelling that the spell check is this. I wrote this at like 9 o'clock last night, so let's just there, and let's transfer that back, and then just separate some of this. And again, just doing this while people are showing up. But let me just kind of read this off to you guys. So here's the game plan from the strategy itself. Right? We've back tested it. We've played with it. The kind of math and all that makes sense. We know that that's just the way that happens. Ignore this that you see open. I'm just monitoring. These are just all this is my current portfolio of swings. So the sample trading plan, right? We're going to wait for the scan to alert. We're going to mark the high of this candle or any other candle. And on the 5-minute, right? So, for example, let's grab one from yesterday and just show what I would have done and what I did. What was one that Walmart? I think Walmart, yeah. No, Walmart didn't trigger. There was only one that technically triggered yesterday, and I did a horrible, horrible job at actually trading this, but that's why I made these rules. So the theory is wait for the alert to trigger, right? This one triggered 2 minutes into the day. You can see it right here. Then set a buy stop at the candle's high or the new 5-minute candle's high. So to do that, I'm going to go into trade ideas. I'm going to grab the strategy and I'm going to set it as chart default long. We're going to make sure, okay, go in here. Right. and then trail the stop entry until a new 5-minute high, or, and this is kind of how I think and how I suggest most people think about trading, is in some sort of programming language, or PM low is taken out, trail exit on the break of the new 5-minute low, or if the exit time of day is getting near, which for me is just going to be noon-ish Eastern. I don't want to be in these much more than this. Then I wrote about goals, and this is kind of the important bit I'll say down here. And let me just move this for a second. So what I noticed in my trading is that I was treating these like swing trades in which I was looking for a real standout winner on them. I was looking for one to make me, hundreds and hundreds of dollars and call it a day. That's not the goal here, right? The real money comes from, for me anyway, from the swing trading, where I can let these things work. Right? VITL, for example, I'm in this from this candle right here, and we're gapping up to here, right? So 3 days, and you can make a chunk from that, and that's kind of the game plan here. So basically, I just made notes to myself and said, this is just for scalping. You're not looking to swing for the fences. The larger money will come from swing trading. Save your greed for that. The goal is to create a small scalping income to grow into something worthwhile, while I have to sit here anyway for other things that I do, right? Consulting and watching the markets for my own thing, and algorithm building and all of this stuff that I do as my primary source. So with that in mind, scalp. If you're having a good day, flatten all. If you're not feeling it, sit out. Greed is good for your swings, but you can size up while doing this. So these are just some notes that I made for myself to say, hey, this is not meant to be a swing for the fences style strategy. So that's the way we're going to play it. So I figured just to gauge interest, I would turn on the screen. We would watch the opening. I would take a couple trades with Dan's money, the CEO of Trade Ideas, and we'll see what happens. Again, these are going to be small, right? A good day will make 20, 30 bucks, and a bad day will lose 20, 30 bucks, right? But just practicing what I preach about any new strategy that you make, even someone like myself who's been trading for years, you want to start small. You want to start simple, right? And sorry, I'll be typing from time to time. That's just, again, the point of this is to do this around other things that I have to do. So, really now, there's nothing to do. And this is the beauty of this kind of trading, this algorithmic, quantitative style trading. As you notice, I'm not scanning for the stocks that are gapping the most and reading their news and coming up with the theories and all of this on the fly. For me, I've got some very relaxing music in my headphones. I'm sitting here waiting for the market to open. I have my plan written up, so I know exactly what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it. There's no questions, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and there's no, there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to do, right? So then the question is, with this time, what do I do? And for me, it's always mindset, right? So you want to be, getting ready to focus. I'm having my coffee. Again, I'm listening to some chill music. Unfortunately, I can't share on screen or stream, or they're gonna yell at me. One thing I do in the morning is I just go through and I check. And again, these are my swings that I have here. HYLN is interesting, but earnings is coming up, so I got to keep an eye on that. I'm long this from 1784. On this big candle is when I got in. I got out of most of the position here. Came back down. I bought a little bit more. I sold a bunch here, and then it came back down. I got in a little bit more, so I'm hoping for another push and break. But right, if we get back up in this area and it looks like we start to sputter, like what happened here. No, that was yesterday. Yeah, here. So basically, I was out when this one made a high, and then it failed to make a higher high. And when it was breaking through here, as I just exited part of that position there. So, I'll go through these swings. NCLH, I'm just looking for NCLH to break out. Really hasn't done anything. Only thing that's red on the list today is NTNT. And NETE. Geez, need that coffee. Bought that one back here. I have a break-even stop on it. I sold half of the position on this spike yesterday, somewhere in this area. And that's about it. So we'll see what's going on there. But let's switch over to the account we're going to try. And just note that here's just a swing that I have in the account just to, again, I'm testing E-Trade and its current capabilities. So that's why we're using E-Trade instead of a sim, is I just want to, before we release it publicly, we test it internally at Trade Ideas. I'm even representing the Trade Ideas swag today. Oops. Hold on 1 second here. Just things are opening on that monitor. I don't like that, so I'm just putting them on something else. Jeez, I don't like that's doing that. All right, so we are open now. So let's get off my swing trades. I just want to watch the first few seconds of the swing trades just to see if there's anything immediate that I have to do. And no. Okay. So now we'll go into this account. It's a question about whether I think Trade Ideas is worth buying. So first, my bias, right? I consult with Trade Ideas. I'm an affiliate, so if you buy it using the link below, that will pay me a commission, right? I just like to put all that up front before giving my opinion. But I've been using Trade Ideas since 2006. Now, it's important to know what Trade Ideas is not, right? And if it's I'm just going to hook my broker account into this Brokerage Plus and I'm going to make a bunch of money. It's not that. If you're looking for something like that in the market, stop, run. You're going to lose all your money. Now that I've made that as clear as I think I can, Trade Ideas as a trading tool is great. So if you're interested in learning to become a trader, willing to put in the work that it takes to become a trader, refine your strategies, the ability to scan in real time, back test, have those scenarios traded for you, which is what I'm going to do today. That's great, right? But again, if you're looking for I just want to hook this thing into my brokerage account and then walk away and make a bunch of money, I implore you to just not only not look at Trade Ideas, but just to not look at trading. It's just the market knows and will take money basically from people who want to do that. So Brokerage Plus works great. It does exactly what it should do. It connects to your broker. You can send orders to it. You can automate strategies, right? This is another strategy that I built and back tested last night that I'm going to be testing out a bit today. Not part of the video or the live stream I'm doing now, but so for what it does, it works great. Just make sure that you're not thinking that you can just plug something into your broker and make a bunch of money. That's again not only not Trade Ideas, that's just not trading. That's just not how the markets work. But again, I have been using it since 2006. I used it for 10 plus years before I started being affiliate or consulted with them in any way. So as a trader, that's my scanning and back testing and trading tool of choice. I just worry there's a lot of people out there who hear that we do have an AI that suggests trades and you can auto trade them, and they think, oh, okay, well, I'll just plug that into that and then I'm a millionaire. And it's just not the way it works. CGRO is looking interesting. This is a swing alert that I have, and it looks like it's breaking out here, but I'm pretty much tapped on. I don't want to enter any new swings on Friday. Just market's been up a bunch, more or less. So I wonder if we're just not going to get any alerts. But there. So here's our first one. So let's take a look at Watt. That looks interesting. I'm certainly not going to buy it up here with a stop down there, though. I need to wait on this one to see if a tighter 5-minute candle occurs. We'll see. So we'll watch that one, but that's our first alert of the day. And we'll keep that up until we see our next one. And I'm also putting these, I have other monitors, right, that you guys aren't seeing. So I put it up there. WATT helps if I put the right symbol up there. Thank you for looking for a backtesting platform. So yeah, it does. The advantages of Trade Ideas backtester as opposed to most backtesters out there is most backtesters are a single instrument at a time, right? So you can say, how did MACD cross work on Apple? And you can just look one security at a time. The benefit of Trade Ideas backtesters, you can say, okay, I want to see what happens when all stocks hit their 200 period moving average. What happens? The downside, because they let that much data in, they can't go as back in time as far as a lot of back testers. You know, that's not necessarily, I don't think, a bad thing. Especially for shorter term trading, I don't think it matters so much that you can go back a massive amount in time. But it's 64 days is the back test window. So again, great for the amount of instruments that you can test. VITL is giving her. I'm going to slam an offer. Oh. Hold on. Cancel. Wrong account. I'll just watch this one for a second. I'm just going to see if I can sell some of this VITL. SPY is selling. There goes my dog protecting me from nothing again. So I'm looking on VITL. I'm just watching to see if we get a quick pop over 31. I'll scalp out half the position. Again, this is not the trading strategy that we're talking about. It's just I've been in this swing for a while, and you can see I'm up $1,300 on it today, so it's going to get a fair amount of my attention. Watt is still the only alert from the scan that we're... Here we go. Yeah, we're struggling. I'm going to take half there. There we go. Okay, back to what we were looking at. Just right, this thing, I'm not going to look at that gift horse in the mouth this morning. So we're back here on Watt, and we have 2 minutes left on this candle. And then we may have an entry here. So again, we spelled out all the rules in the beginning of this of the stream. You can go back and look at that if you missed that later. But essentially, we're using a bar by bar entry and a bar by bar exit after the alerts occurred. And this, more or less, guys, is real trading. You know, I was watching some streams of people who cannot be named. They go, okay, I'm in, and I'm right back out. I'm in, and I'm out, and I'm in here. I'm going to get in here, then I'm going to get out here. And it's just, no, you're not. Stop lying. So we got 2. I do like RXT as well. I'm doing some discretion when it comes to, because again, the point here is we're looking for this kind of pre-market low. So I'm going to click buy. I'm going to put out my buy order for WAT right there. And we'll see. You can see it set up pretty much the entire trade for us, which is the beauty. OI is in from another algorithm that I said I was testing. Again, this is all to test E-Trade and its functionality with auto trading before we kind of ship it out to the masses. So let's look at RXT. And we'll put in an entry here in RXT as well. Let's see if we get in there. I forgot to make this change to make the order good till cancel on entry. That could cause a problem if the orders are left out. Just going to go back and check my real monies. Looks like that was a good out. Yeah, so far that was a good out on VITL. So again, if you guys are liking this kind of content at all, let me know. I'm kind of in a content slump when it comes to what to put out for you guys. So and again, if there's someone here now who wasn't here when we created this strategy, essentially my theory, and I don't know if my theory is correct at all, was, looking for stocks like this that kind of broke their pre-market lows on gappers and then kind of reverse that. So you could call it maybe a bear trap or something. The theory is looking for just a nice, quick scalping type of instrument, right? Where, as you guys can probably tell, right, swing trading for my trading is where most of my income comes from. So the question is there a way? Okay. Is there a way for me to let's just supplement that with a very basic trading strategy like this? So it looks like we're triggered in RXT. I don't see the stop loss on the chart. So this is, and again, so I'm also kind of bug fixing this at the same time. Looking up at WAD, it looks like it's going the other way. So the point here on RXT is, I'm going to take a position on, sorry, I got to take a picture here, right? Oops, new orders. I'm just taking a look. Generally speaking, our orders should be on the chart here, but they're not. So just kind of pointing that over to the guys. Bug testing and trading and swing trading all at the same time. So the current stop for Watt, even though it's not on the chart, is 21.31, which is kind of right at the lows here. Again, the game plan is to trail these on 5 minutes, whether they are profitable or unprofitable. All right, so let's go look at Watt. So you can see our entry should be about the same. So we will cancel this if it kind of breaks down lows here. We'll get out of that because we're no longer interested in that play. Because again, the rules say, right, continue to trail until a new 5-minute high is made, or the low of day or PM meaning pre-market low, is taken out. So we only have racks right here. So our new stop should be, we'll leave this, give it a little bit of room, and again, ignore everything except RXT. These are, again, just testing algorithms. this OI is just, you probably saw it come through here. Yeah. And LBRT, this is just another algorithm that I'm working on to test time exits. We're going to give that a little bit. Oh, so that's interesting that there's two orders for that. So Watt broke down here. So if it closes, if this 5-minute candle closes under this area, not going to be interested in this one anymore, just because, again, it's cleared the pre-market low and everything else. What's the... It's funny. It's kind of hard to get, again, looking at my my more real accounts and the P&L and everything from that, and trying to get as motivated. I totally get where people who don't like to I really don't like to... Sorry. Okay, so that's breaking down here. So we're going to get out of that in a second. But yeah, it's harder to stay motivated, I guess, when it's smaller amounts of money or paper trading. So I get that, but it's just how you have to do it, right? Even though the back test on this one looks profitable and the visual testing we've done looks profitable as well, we need to make sure that we're able to build rules and systems and everything around it to make sure that we've got a trading strategy that kind of makes sense. It doesn't look like this one's going to be the move, so we're going to exit out of this shortly. And there's only another 12 minutes for new entry, so funny enough, when I tried this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all of those days were profitable, with Tuesday being very profitable for this strategy. I think it was net on this small amount, it was 200, and yesterday we made about $200. So maybe you guys are going to be bad luck, but we'll see here. And then Watt. So I'm looking at my other charts here on Watt right here, and you can see the pre-market action actually goes further than we have on the trade ideas chart. So I technically should still be taking a look at this one as well, but we'll see. So again, the theory is, do these pre-market, post-market areas hold as support over a longer period of time? KLR is another one we just got in here. So, as we should, we'll do that. Then we'll go back to Watt. And we'll move some of these. Looks like we got in KLR. That's not an accurate P&L number, unfortunately. QDEL. So just, yeah, we're putting in about $1,000 per position. So make sure Um, so why is it saying that? Oh, it's grabbing yesterday's price. Looks like my quotes from E-Trade have frozen, which is great. 1 second here, guys. I'm just going to disconnect from and reconnect to E-Trade. And this is why we get all kinds of questions of when's the beta, when's the beta, when's the beta, right? When can I play with E-Trade? When can I play with E-Trade? And we always say, hey, hold on, when we're ready. And this is why, right? Let's go back. I just wanted to make sure there I wasn't sharing any of Dan's information. A disconnect and a reconnect seemed to wake up the prices a little bit. Yeah. So if we get, so what's this? 21.49. So let's actually move into 21.54. So if we get kind of back in this area now, I'm just going to get out of RKT. It's not working. KLR is the only other trade. Actually, let's assign these. So we only look at what we want to look at. So this is something you can do in Trade Ideas where I can say, okay, I want to assign all of these to a strategy, and then I only want to look at that strategy. So these are the two that we're testing this morning from the strategy that we created. And we can just click on that and we can say, okay, here, now let me just look at those, QDEL and Watt haven't triggered, and that's fine. So you can see, even though it's an opening scalping strategy, it's fairly chill. So what I'm doing now, so there is $1,000 I'm allocating of Dan's money, of the CEO of Trade Ideas money, to each of these trades. Now the plan is, when it's going to be my money, is start bigger than that, but not huge, and then slowly increase as the strategy creates. But at the same time that I'm getting tasked to test this, I might as well play with that as kind of a new strategy as well. So that's why, again, the small numbers there, and then when you see me go back, because I just see that people are coming and going, so I'm just reiterating. And when I go to my because I've got the strategy. When I go back to my personal account, right, this is more or less trading sizes for stuff like that. EBS. So we are almost, so I'm not really interested in EBS because it's well outside of there's no real pre-market action there. Again, the point is, and what it's doing is it's reading like part of this dip and this thing here as the low of the pre-market range. But this is why it's a discretionary strategy and not just a purely quantitative strategy, because I want to look at the pre-market action and say, okay, is this pre-market action legitimate? Right? Is it something that makes sense or not? I'm actually going to put that stop. We're going to make that real tight right there. So again, I don't know if this is interesting to you guys, that it's I like doing stuff like this as opposed to showing the bigger trades that I take, because for people who are out there learning, I think this is more valuable. So you could watch the stream that we did on Monday, and you could say, okay, this is his idea, and this is how he back tested and how he built the scan into an idea and all of this. And then you could then watch me on Twitter, where I posted every day the P&L from the strategy. And then today is, okay, here is the strategy traded live. So you're able to go, okay, I went from, how I went from kind of idea to actual trade, using Why is that? Oops. Okay. So I've just moved that down. Again, we're still over the pre-market range if I use external charts. If it doesn't trigger on this candle, I'm not interested. I'm just checking through. These are some automated algorithms that I'm, again, testing E-Trade with. And then we'll go back to here. So just turned profitable on the day. So if I was trading, 10,000 shares or so for a position, we would have been down $300 total, and we'd be up $70 now. And that's how I kind of keep it interesting in my head, more or less, right? What would happen if I took a $50,000 account and I allocated $10,000 per position? What? And then what else were we watching? Oh, QDEL. So yeah, QDEL I kind of like because it's, what's the news on QDEL? It looks like it was just earnings, right? Yeah, earnings was post-market yesterday. All right, so our stop held on RXT, and now we're going to start trailing it as it goes on KR, which is the other one. This one's spiking up, so now I'm going to raise my stop to around 1530-ish. So just click on that, and then away we go. So now our stop's kind of up in this area. So we've reduced risk there. And then again, ignore LBRT and OI and CERN and all that, right? We're basically just looking at, oh, we just got triggered in Watt. So I'm going to assign that to the strategy. So in 2 minutes, we are going to be out of new entries. And again, the theory that I'm looking for is to say, okay, I want to take a couple scalps. I want to be done this by noon my time, so 11 Eastern, and then go on to the rest of the day and the things that I do with consulting and swing trading and all that. So if QDEL doesn't trigger, which is the last thing we're looking for, in the next candle or two, we're going to ignore that as well. And then we just have to manage these current positions. And is KLR stopped or is... No. Okay, still moving. And then Watt. So where is actually our stop loss in Watt? I'm glad they put this privacy mode in so I could do this. I haven't done any of this in the longest time just because... Okay, so our stop's just under $5 in Watt, so I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, so QDEL, if we break the lows here, I'm going to cancel that order and we'll be done. And it's officially 11, so it's officially 11 my time. So it is past the time where I am interested in new entries. Let me just take one moment and check on the swings. And see, VITL, yeah, it looked like still is good out. NCLH is finally moving. We talked about this morning. That's good. CNK, I really like the look of this one as well. HYLN is just kind of popping around, and this GME kind of shot in the dark I took. I'll be out of this probably by the end of today. All right, back to work. So we're in E-Trade, and we're in this. So far today, this is flat, right? Strategy isn't making anything. It isn't losing anything. I'll be very quick to take any profit that I see and move on. Again, for a scalping algorithm, that's kind of the point, right? Is I have this kind of pile in period, and then I have the, okay, I've made my money, get out, call it a day. Which again, if you guys, the people who weren't here for the beginning, that was the note here, right? And basically I did this note because I did the Notion template, and I've been recording all the trades that I took from this. And I noticed that pretty much in all cases, I would have been way better off hopping in, making a few bucks, closing it down, and then moving on with the day. So then going forward, then why wouldn't you do that, right? If your most profitable time you're noticing in your strategy is within that first bit of the day, why wouldn't you stop and get out? And my problem is always greed, right? It's it's a common kind of trader fallacy where you say, well, I made, what was it? I think $200 or so yesterday at whatever. If I just hold on to these positions, well, then by the end of the day, maybe I'll be up $1,000 on these little tiny positions. So again, we're allocating just $1,000 to each of these while we're testing with the boss's money. All right, that watt doubling, let me see if I can change this. That's a bug in the E-Trade. There we go. I just wanted to let you, that's not the way it works at all. Again, bugs and things we're looking for. So we're going to put our stop on this one at 1580 on KLR. So we're going to modify stop orders, and we want it to be, it's just exact price, and 15.8. That's what I love about trade ideas. And then let's modify the target order and just move that up and out of the way there. And then we'll do it with watt. And watt hasn't really moved that much yet. So there's not really much difference between our stop now and our stop there. So I'm just not going to bother. And RKT, I'm going to put that stop right under the whole number. So we're going to modify stop order. And let's make it 2190. All right, RKT, basically I'm going to give it to around, let me draw this out. I'll give it to around here. Right, if we reject here and push lower, I don't want in. This one's been a dog the entire day. I'd rather ride the good one, where you can see now our stop is 1580 and our entry is 1558. So barring some sort of crazy halt or whatever, this one will be profitable. Not confident in RKT, right? You can see our stop down here at 2190. So that one may just roll over and get us, and that's fine. So then watt is going to be kind of our wild card here. And then once these trade exit, I am going to call it a day and go do some other things. Oh, and we got in QDEL. So where is QDEL? Here it is. So I need to stop moving. I want to assign it to the strategy we're watching. So the main thing I want to take away, guys, right? The profits are irrelevant, right? Profits or losses, we're trading tiny size, right? If I make $100 or I lose $100, it's just not, it's not going to hit the radar too hard. And then it's not my money. It's Dan's money. So it's really not going to hit the radar. The point is, I want to show the point of this whole thing, the stream on Monday. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. And the stream today and the tweets I've done in the meantime is to basically just talk about, so RKT, we are out. That pulled back, so we lost on that one. The point is to try to show you guys, okay, this is the work required in strategy development, right? You know, the work is come up with an idea, and I just came up with the idea from, I think, watching YouTube videos, or I was in someone's webinar or something. From there, it's test the idea, you know, use quantitative metrics to go through and test it, either with a tool like Trade Ideas or by eye or however you do it. Come up with that kind of plan to say, okay, you know, I know what I'm going to do. I know when I'm going to do it. I know why I'm going to do it. And then to go from there and say, okay, now it's time to really start refining that strategy. And that's what I did here last night, right? I really refined my entry. I really refined my stop loss. I really refined all of this. And then it's record. So I will record each of these. I'll take a screenshot of this screen when I'm done. I will put it into Notion, which is what I use as a template. You know, I'll have all that sorted, figured out, and ready to go. And then I will review that over the weekend. So I'll have 4 days of trading of this new strategy. And over the weekend, I'll sit down, I'll go through every single trade in the Notion template. I'll see where I could have done better and where I did worse and all of those things. And we'll go from there. We get a kind of a topping candle here with 2 minutes left to go in this candle. So I'm going to watch this KLR, and I may exit manually if we can't hold above 16. So yeah, again, the point was to show you guys from beginning to end how I came up with an idea or borrowed an idea, saw it somewhere. I think what I did is I saw everyone saying, oh, you short it if it breaks the pre-market low. And my theory is, okay, if that's what everyone's doing, if that shorting that pre-market low doesn't work, then there'll be a lot of stop loss orders, I think was my mentality there. But how I went from idea to testing to actually trading it to, you know, creating theories and you know, tweaking, and then to recording it, and then trying to figure out where to go from there. So the last step of this, assume I'd run this from assuming this works, right? Assuming that this works and it makes this, you know, $20 to $50 a day, right? You're not going to have every day that makes money. So say at the end of the week, trading $1,000, I make $100 on a good week, and on a bad week I lose $50, and I do that for a month. So good weeks make $50 or $100, bad weeks lose $50, and then I have a pretty good, you know, maybe half the weeks are good and half the weeks are bad. Say the stats end up something like that. Well, then it's just scaling that up slowly over time. So we're going to actually move our stop on this one now to right under. We're going to call this, we're going to put an exact price. We're just going to call this $15.99. And we're going to click OK. QDEL, we are about to be out of QDEL if this doesn't immediately pick up. And on Watt, we're going to raise that to around, say, 1518. Or sorry, 518. Okay. So yeah, QDEL, if we lose 180, 187.50. Okay, so again, there's that bug. I don't know why it does that, but let's do this. There we go. Yeah, so let's just... Does it not think I have a stop order in QDEL? I don't have a stop order in QDEL. Okay. So let's add a stop order. And let's make it 187.49. Okay, so KLR we got stopped out of. Looks like it took another run there and then it reversed. So we're out of that. So that profit makes up for that loss and some. Again, if we were talking real numbers and larger numbers here. I've got my eye up here on the SPY too, just to see. So QDEL we're out of as well. So we took 2 losses so far and 1 gain. And if I had played with them better, it would have been about flat for 2 losses and 1 gain, which is great. So now it's all on Watt. I do have a call at the top of the hour too I have to get to, so I'll definitely be out by then. That'll be good days testing. And what about all the other stuff I'm doing? These are just other algos that I'm running in order to test trade ideas brokerage plus with E-Trade. Yeah, so EBS, it would have been about a flat trade if I took it, but I just didn't like the look of that. RXT, it looks like we traded that one pretty much perfectly. All right, we gave it a chance in that first few minutes of the day, and then it looked like it broke down here, so we got out of that. Watt, we had to be real patient on our entry, but instead of getting it up here, we got it down there, and that's good. KLR, I may regret KLR. I may have been a little too tight on KLR. Maybe I should have left my stop here, but that's fine. And then Watt, we're just watching. These are right out kind of thing. You can't create an alert where the 20 is crossing the 200. You can create a alert where the stock's making a new 5-minute high where the 20 is crossing the 200 just by using the filter. Again, if you want to build anything in trade ideas, right, you just go to configure and you go to search, and if it's here, you can do it, and if it's not, you can't. So if we say 20 and then 200, we'll just type those in. And you can see the 20 crossing the 205. So that's the 20 versus the 200, sorry, right here. So you can just say you want this number to be really close, and it's making a new 5-minute high or so. Because if it's making a new 5-minute high and the moving averages are close together, that new high is going to push the moving average higher, right? Because it's just a moving average of price. That's going to be your best bet, I think. All right, so we are watching Watt really closely, see if we can just exit this and make our, couple $100 or a couple bucks, which would be 100 or so on the daily. We're looking at a low there in the 20s. If this works, then that will be 4 positive days in a row. If this doesn't, it'll be 3 positive days in a row and 1 flat to slightly negative, which would be enough for me to be worthwhile to keep testing it, right? And that's all I'm looking for now. I'm not looking to make obviously money on this thing, trading it as tiny as I am. The goal is to test this to see if it's something that's worthwhile in putting my money towards. So basically, we're just looking at this kind of support right here and see if this holds and we push higher, or if it comes down and break, we'll take the loss. We'll actually have a 25% win rate at that moment, and a 25% win rate and any sort of a profit or not much of a loss is very good, right? I don't look to, and I don't want to be, that guy that wins. So we'll see. We just got close eyes here on Watt, and then that will be the end of this strategy in this stream. Excuse me one more time while I go and just make sure that the actual things are doing well, and they are. So that's my actual P&L today, 2,300. And again, doesn't matter. It's not like that every day. We still got that VITL. I'm glad we clunked that out when we did, for sure. This HYLN, I've told you my history on this, right? I basically bought every time we've dipped around this area and then sold up here. Earnings on February, so I have to get out of that soon, maybe today. Every time like a leaf blow, I live in the middle of the woods, and the dog just gets up, growls, and goes, looks out the window, and comes back, and then gets up and growls. It's like it's a squirrel, it's a rabbit, it's we live in the woods. There's just shit all the time, guy. Get over it. He's just doing his job though, so I can't be mad. So again, guys, trading's boring. It should be, right? If it's not boring, you're doing something wrong. If you're getting excited while you trade. I was listening to JC on Clubhouse yesterday, and he said the same thing, that it was when he started trading. And the same thing with me is that you would get this, and if you guys have ever really gone after it, you get it too. You get this like dopamine dump at the end of the day where it's like your whole body just goes, oh Jesus, and you felt like you've been hit by a truck. I noticed that when I started to make money, it's when that stopped happening to me, which I don't think it stopped happening to me because I was starting to make money. I think it stopped happening to me because I found trading styles and vehicles that didn't cause me to be jacked up like that. Can I recommend books? I wonder if I still have this. I actually have a Google Doc somewhere. I haven't updated it in a while, but it should still be pretty relevant, that I put all of my favorite trading books. I wish I was good with words. I would write my own, but not popular enough that anyone would buy it, and I'm really more of a numbers guy. Technical analysis using multiple time frames is something I would highly recommend. The checklist manifesto, yeah, there it is. That is kind of old, but I'm just trying to think, is there anything that I would change? Not really. Oh, there goes Watt. Cheers. Yeah, no worries. Um, yeah, trading in zone, technical analysis using multiple time frames. It's great. Mindset by Carol Dweck is not trading related, but it's a great, great book. Psycho Cybernetics, another great book. Checklist Manifesto, I think, is amazing. I don't know why. Why are these all hyperlinks? Oh, they all go to They all go to Brett Steenbarger's. I don't know why. How they all got made hyperlink, but yeah, they're really cool. Really cool book ideas. So basically, we're just saying, okay, if we hold support here, now what about these other ones? Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on these two just because they are trades with Dan's money. But what is what we're looking at? So go down. Yeah, we were. We developed, and this video or this stream will go up on the channel eventually once YouTube figures it out. But yeah, what we did today is we and let's just review, and then I've gotta get going anyway. But let's review what we did. So we ignore most of these trades because a lot of these aren't what we were looking at. So we came up with a very basic rule set, right? That basically was focused more on the entry, and I did fall into the same trap on Watt today, and I'll explain that trap and try to spitball with you guys ways to get around it. But so again, I wrote this up last night about the algorithm, right? Where this was the simple trading plan. I was going to wait for the scan alter. Sorry, again, it was like 11 o'clock last night, but mark either this candle high or the high of the one before it. Set a buy stop at that candle's high. Continue to trail the stop entry until it was taken out of the low of the day. So how did we do that on these stocks? So first one was KLR, right? It alerted in this area, so we set a buy stop above this candle's high. We got triggered, and we got triggered out on a 5-minute bar by bar trail, which it looks like I'm going to regret here. I'm thinking of maybe using a moving average instead of bar by bar. I don't know. I'll look into it. QDEL, same thing. We got triggered in here. We got stopped out pretty much right away. And RKT, we got triggered in, and then we got stopped out pretty much right away. So we had these 3 trades and 1 winner and 2 losers for about a flat. And then now we had Watt, which was a great trade, but once again, I didn't take it. And then we have a stop loss order. Let's just put it at, I think this is I'm gonna get out of this soon anyway. So this thing was a, I don't know, $50 winner or something at one point up here, and then reversed on me, and I just wasn't quick enough to get out of that. But that's what we're doing. So basically, we on Monday had the idea, turned on the stream, back tested it, built the scan. Throughout the week, I started playing with it again. We're obviously doing this incredibly small, right? Because we're not confident in the strategy yet. I just came up with it a week ago. And this is something that I'm really pounding the table on, and I'm not doing this to be an asshole where I go back and say, and this is how I normally trade, but I just want to show the difference of risk and position size, right? On this trade, I was VITL, I was originally risking like $1,000, right? On this trade on Watt, I'm risking $50, right? And that's how trading should be. You shouldn't just, I have a new idea, let me jump in with the same size that I would normally have an idea, right? So we are trading this very, very small. The only reason we are not paper trading it is because I am testing out E-Trade, the E-Trade API integration. So yeah, so we went from idea to traded throughout the week. I'm blaming the stream for the bad luck here today because the other 3 days were profitable, 2 of which were very profitable, 1 of which was break-even-ish. I think Wednesday was the break-even one. Yesterday was pretty good, and Tuesday was pretty good. So again, the theory being, I want to kind of show the process of how I would create a trading strategy. And then eventually, if this ends up being a thing, I will bring it over to my own account instead of risking Dan's money and size up a bit and show that progress as well. May not be, right? So the question is, what's next? So I had 2 winning days this week, 1 flat day, and let's consider today a losing day because I have to go in a bit and, I'll probably close out of this. I would be shocked if this thing holds the $4 that I want it to. If it does, it could turn out to be great. Follow me on Twitter. Time to plug myself. Right, that's me on Twitter. And I'll tweet whatever the final screenshot of this is. All right, so I just wanted to show, again, the process, because the process is important. Not the end result, obviously. It's the process, because every trading strategy can work for a bit. Maybe it stops working. Maybe there's periods of time where it doesn't work. So you want to have different trading strategies and philosophies. So I'm always doing this, where I'm always looking for whatever that next one is. So I just wanted to open up the window and have you kind of look at my my process and see where it goes from there. And yeah, that's about it. So so basically watch Watt, and if Watt breaks $5, we're out. And that will be a small loss for the day. Still a profitable week with the strategy, but a small loss. If Watt coils and turns back up and gets higher, then it'll be a gain. Regardless, I will post on Twitter what was the gain or loss for that strategy. Again, process over everything else. Please avoid the guys who are, okay, I got in here and I got out here. I got in here right at the lows, and then I got out here right at the highs. Look at that, right? They're lying, right? This is how real trading works. You come up with an idea. The idea creates a process. You have a process to turn that idea from something that could make money to something that will make money. And eventually, if this strategy is not the strategy, then we'll come back and we'll do the whole process again with other ideas I have, till eventually we have something that I feel confident. I don't want to show you guys this with any of the things that I currently do that make money now, because then you're not getting the process, right? And I don't want to be the guy that gives you trade ideas. I don't want to be the guy that says this is the way you trade. I want to be the guy to show you the process to build your own trade, because again, I guarantee you the people who just want to have the ideas given to them and have the things given to them, they're not going to be the ones that are around for a long time. It'll be the guys like you who are here trying to learn the theory behind everything. So all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to shut it down. This thing will go live later so you can watch it all. Again, let me know if you guys like this kind of content. I have a video going up today for a new indicator that we just launched on the Trade Ideas chart. It's called Don Chian channel. So to stay tuned to the channel for that. That should be up at 4:30 Eastern. And then, yeah, be safe out there, and I'll let you know what happens on Watt, but it's not looking good. All right, I'll leave you to dogs freaking out. Later.